G'day everyone, welcome back to the shed. My name's Mark, and in this video we're going to talk about the history of the steamroller that we're currently working on. 16930 was originally built by John Fowler Co in 1926 in Leeds, England, and exported out here to Australia, where it worked all its life up until about 1961. It was then placed in a park in the township of Allera, where it worked, or Allera District, which is southwest of Toowoomba, Queensland. And there it languished for the next 50 years before it was rescued by a local citizen who got it out of the park. This was taken back in 2018, and at the time my brother gave me a hand to get it from the person who had acquired it from the gentleman who got it out of the park. And initially, with all these sorts of things, that people are well inclined to take on a project like this and start getting into it and need help to do it. You just can't do it by yourself. And I'm one of those people that definitely have had help during this project. So the previous people who took it on found that it was probably just a little bit too big for them, even though that, they had good intentions. They did a lot of research, got a lot of information, but obviously life gets in the way. Family members pass on who had all good intentions to help. And so the person the gentleman that got it out of the park originally, he sold it on to the gentleman I brought it off, and that was back in 2018. When we first looked at the roller back in early 2018, I was pretty keen. I'd been involved with road steam for about 10 years, involved with the Queensland Steam and Vintage Machinery Society, and thought that I could have this up and running in no time flat. But to my surprise, of course, the further I got into it, the more problems I found. And when an engine like this, nearing 100 years old, when an engine like this spends most of its working life outside, not stored under cover, and then another 50 years of its life in a park, exposed to the elements with no cover, then ultimately you find things deteriorate over time. And we've had to do some boiler work and other work involving new bearings, machining of the crankshaft, remanufacturing parts, all that sort of thing. And that's not uncommon to take on with a project like this. And in the meantime, we've built a brand new shed. At some stage during the project, I broke my ankle, so I was off for 4 months with a broken ankle. In reality, 5 months probably before I actually got any work done on it. Projects like these always take a lot longer than what people think. It's more involved, and when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you have to do a lot of research, and that's what I did. I started a Facebook page to help me find more information on these steamrollers, and I've been very, very thankful that this has come to fruition. I've made contact with people around the world. They've helped me, I've helped them in return. And more closer to home, a young gentleman down in Melbourne has helped me out tremendously, which we'll see later in the video, with some of the missing parts which I thought were gone forever. But to give you an overview of what the steamroller looks like, this is it here. This is what they call a convertible. However, it's the same model of roller, and this is a Fowler T3B. And as mentioned, this model could be converted into a roller, as you see in this form here, or converted into a tractor, depending on what you require. And we'll cover this in another video. Fowler's said that the conversion could easily take about an hour or something like that to change the rolls over and put the tractor wheels on, and away you go, steaming down the road again. Pretty versatile machine. They quoted this as a 8-ton in working order. However, the one I have here, adding everything up in its current form, it's only coming up to about 6-ton. However, there's still a lot of parts missing off it. It hasn't got any water in it, hasn't got any coal or anything like that, so we're missing a bit of weight there. These are a nice tiny roller. We brought it home on my works tilt tray, which handled it no problems, both winching on and off, travelling down the road. Modern day trucks have no problems picking up vintage equipment like that. It's certainly got plenty of horsepower, that's for sure. So we'll go now to the engine list, and this is it here. I'll have to put my glasses on for this. Thanks to Dan down in Melbourne, I do have a copy of this, but mine's a little bit blurrier than this. This is a really nice image that he acquired, and it gives a list of steamrollers. On this particular page, it's T3B, T3A. There's 2 lists of T3B and T3B with tar sprayers. Now, if we go down, you can see towards the bottom of the page is 16930, and it's a compound road roller, and the agent here was Queensland Machinery Co, and looks like it was ordered in July 26 and delivered in November 26, or completed or shipped then. I'm not sure on these details. Like I said, up the top it's a little bit fuzzy. I'd really love more information if anyone's got more information. Further to that, the gentleman I mentioned before, Dan, down in Melbourne, he has 16933, which you can see down the bottom, and it was imported by Austral Engineering. That was the agents in Sydney. It arrived, as you can see, a bit later here to Australia, so a separate ship, not at the same time. And Dan's done a fantastic job on restoring this particular engine, which I think will feature in a later video. Might have to get him. But anyway, when he purchased his roller, it was like a Meccano said, it was all in pieces. And he contacted me through the Facebook page, and we started corresponding and sending photos, and he was asking me what goes where and that sort of thing. Although Dan was very knowledgeable, he's been in the steam game a long time, he was unfamiliar, and I was at that time quite far ahead in the restoration, or at least pulling mine apart to get it to start working on it. And we discovered through our conversations that and exchanging of photos that he had parts of mine which had been missing off the roller for a long time. And I will play that video as part of this video. It's done way back when I had my old phone, so the actual quality is not that good, and that was way before I seriously got into doing any video recording or live streams or anything like that. So it really solved a lot of problems for us. These parts were major parts that actually make the engine go, engage the gears and things like that, which I never thought I would ever see again. Right, so with no further ado, that's a quick brief on the history of the steamroller engine number 16930 that we're currently working on. G'day everyone. Well, I promised a big reveal, and it's happening right now. Nice spring evening here in Australia, and we got this pallet here which has got some interesting bits on it. So we'll do a bit of an unboxing. So when we started on this journey, we had some missing bits off the roller, some major bits that I never thought I'd ever see again. They were gone, they were taken because the roller sat in the park for a very long time during part of its life. So consequently, a lot of bits, like a lot of other steam machinery that sat in parks, had pieces taken off it over the years. And now thankfully, the bits that were missing, the major bits, have now been returned to us, thanks to Dan Elstone down in Melbourne, who's currently restoring a Fowler T3 roller. In fact, this one here is 16930 and his is 16933. So they're not too far apart in terms of engine numbers. So we'll just get a close in. And so what we got here is the two gears. We got a fire hole door. Obviously, you know, it's broken, but that can be repaired. But the main thing is this piece here. This casting here is what they call the clutch gear, and that's where you select slow or fast. Now, obviously, it's all upside down, but we'll do some cutting and show a few pieces. Now, consequently, the fire door is a lot smaller on these engines than any other engine. So this piece here, this is the drive gear. This is where we engage low or slow or fast, and one slides in the other, as some of you may have seen on some of the other T3 rollers that are currently operational in the UK. Bloody mozzies flying around. So one slides, obviously we need a bit of work, bit of clean-up work. There's a bit of wear. I would imagine this one's the low speed and that's the high speed. Hasn't got a lot of wear. It almost looks brand new. But this was the major bit. This is the bit that selects so the lever sits on top, and I'm getting attacked. It's springtime here, so I'm getting eaten away by mozzies. So we've got one selector, we'll have to make another one. It's all right, we've got the plans. But that's it, guys, the big reveal. I never thought I'd see these parts again and thought we'd have to get them made. But here they are. We'll get some better photos than that when we get them inside. Happy days.